Good evening, folks. Let's get straight to the point. What we're seeing on the Ukrainian battlefield isn't just about F-16s or long-range missiles anymore. The real game changer is something the Russians have nicknamed Baba Yaga, a name out of Slavic folklore, but a weapon that's all too real and absolutely terrifying for them. I've been in this game for over 30 years, from Desert Storm to modern conflicts, and I've never seen a drone that combines simplicity, raw destructive power, and psychological warfare like this one. They're not some high-tech, billion-dollar aircraft. They're essentially heavy-lift bomber drones, and their design philosophy is pure genius. They are built to be affordable, easy to operate, and most importantly, incredibly resilient. This isn't just a military tool, it's a strategic shift. These drones are changing the fight on the ground every single night. The Russians know it. They hear that distinct hum in the darkness, and they know a ton of explosives is about to drop right on their heads. They've tried to jam them, they've tried to shoot them down with small arms, but the Baba Yaga keeps coming. That's a new kind of terror, and a clear sign that Ukraine has adapted to this war in a way no one expected. It's an asymmetric advantage, born out of necessity, that now poses a very real, very persistent threat to Russian forces. The psychological component is almost as damaging as the payload itself. When your enemy hears you coming but can't stop you, it breaks their morale. This is a weapon that doesn't just destroy, it demoralizes, and that's what makes it so lethal. The Baba Yaga isn't just a single drone model, it's a family of heavy-lift, multi-rotor systems like the Vampire, the R-18, and the Kazan, all of which serve the same purpose: to deliver heavy, precise payloads at night when the enemy is most vulnerable. Their ability to carry repurposed anti-tank mines, mortar bombs, or even specialized incendiary devices means they're not just a nuisance, they are a formidable force multiplier. And their operators, the raccoons and scorpions of the world, are artists in the dark, turning a drone into a grim reaper for the enemy. They fly low, they fly silent, and they strike with a level of precision that ground forces simply cannot replicate at night. This isn't a fight for a few square meters of land. It's a technological contest for control of the night sky, and right now, Ukraine is winning it with these drones.
The core of their lethality lies in their design philosophy. Unlike the expensive, complex military hardware most nations rely on, these drones are built with simplicity and resilience in mind. They don't have redundant, high-cost avionics. Instead, they use off-the-shelf components, which makes them incredibly cheap to produce and quick to repair. You can lose a propeller, take a hit to the frame, or even have a bullet pass through a non-critical part, and the drone will often continue its mission. This robustness is a direct counter to Russia's attempts to overwhelm Ukrainian logistics. When every drone can be a one-time use missile, you can afford to lose a few. But when they can take damage and come back to be repaired, the return on investment is incredible. It's a concept that turns the traditional military-industrial complex on its head. Instead of a handful of multi-million-dollar jets, you get a fleet of thousands of these drones, each a potential lethal threat, swarming the battlefield and forcing the enemy to disperse and expose themselves. It's a fundamental shift in doctrine. The sheer volume of these drones, combined with their ability to operate in the darkness, creates a persistent, unyielding pressure that Russian forces are simply not equipped to handle. They are not just fighting a war against an army, they are fighting a war against a ghost in the night, and the ghost is winning. This is the new reality of modern warfare, and it is a reality that was forged in the fires of this conflict by Ukrainian innovation. This is where the Baba Yaga story gets really interesting. It's not just the fear it instills, it's the sheer difficulty of stopping it. For decades, military doctrine has revolved around countering a threat with a more advanced, more expensive piece of hardware. The Ukrainians have thrown that entire textbook out the window. They've built a system that's a direct, almost philosophical counter to that very concept. Let's break down its survivability. First, and this is crucial, is its resilience to electronic warfare, EW. The Russians came into this conflict with some of the most advanced EW capabilities in the world. Their systems are designed to blind, jam, and take control of enemy drones. And for the most part, they've been devastatingly effective against smaller, off-the-shelf quadcopters. But the Baba Yaga is different. Its control systems are built with redundancy and anti-jamming measures in mind. Operators report that even when the video feed goes black, a classic sign of powerful EW, the drone's command link often remains stable. It continues its mission, often relying on pre-programmed flight paths and inertial navigation. And even in the worst-case scenario, if it loses the command link entirely, it has a built-in return-to-base function. It won't just crash, it will automatically fly back home to be recovered and used again. This means that every single sortie is a potential success, and even a heavily jammed drone isn't necessarily a loss. It's an economy of force that is simply devastating.
Second, let's talk about physical durability. When you see photos or videos of these drones, they look like oversized hobby kits. But that's a deceptive simplicity. Ukrainian operators have shared incredible stories. In one documented case, a Baba Yaga drone took a direct hit from small arms fire. The bullet passed clean through its battery, an event that should have grounded it instantly. But the drone held up, completed its mission, and flew back to its launch point. This isn't just about luck, it's a testament to a rugged, decentralized design. These drones have multiple motors and a distributed power system. Losing one motor or taking a hit to a non-critical area often doesn't mean mission failure. It's an almost insect-like resilience. You can take a piece out, but the system keeps going. This contrasts sharply with a conventional aircraft, where a single hit to a critical component can bring it down. The Baba Yaga is designed to absorb punishment and keep flying, a necessity when operating over enemy territory. Finally, its nighttime operational capability is what truly makes it a force multiplier. Most drone activity, especially with smaller FPV drones, happens during the day. But the Baba Yaga hunts in the dark. It is equipped with advanced thermal imagers that can spot the heat signature of a person or a vehicle from miles away. A Russian soldier huddled in a trench, thinking he's safe under the cover of night, is a bright, glowing target on the drone's screen. The drone operates at low altitudes, staying below the radar of most sophisticated air defense systems, and its multi-rotor design is virtually silent from a distance. The last thing a soldier hears before impact is a faint, distant hum. This turns the night from a shield into a hunting ground for the Ukrainians, and the psychological impact on the enemy is immense. When you can't see the threat and you can't hide from it, every hour of darkness becomes a torment. This is a weapon that doesn't just destroy infrastructure, it erodes the will to fight. What we've discussed so far, the psychological terror, the rugged design, the nighttime dominance, is all crucial. But to truly understand the Baba Yaga, we need to look at its broader strategic impact. This isn't just about a successful weapon system, it's about a complete and fundamental shift in military doctrine, a lesson that Ukraine has taught the world. First, let's talk about the economic factor. A single Vampire drone costs roughly $20,000. Now compare that to a single 155mm artillery shell, which can cost several $1,000s, or a guided missile, which can cost hundreds of thousands. The Baba Yaga is an incredibly cost-effective way to deliver a heavy, precise payload. This affordability is what allows Ukraine to field these drones not in the dozens, but in the hundreds, if not thousands. This changes everything. It's no longer a game of silver bullets, expensive high-tech weapons reserved for high-value targets. It's a game of attrition by volume. Ukraine can saturate an entire area with these drones, forcing the enemy to either expose themselves or face constant, overwhelming pressure. A Russian S-400 missile, which costs millions of dollars, is an incredible piece of technology, but its economic value is completely negated when it is forced to shoot down a $20,000 drone. It's an unsustainable model for Russia, and Ukraine has brilliantly exploited this economic asymmetry. They are draining Russia's resources not just on the battlefield, but in the air, forcing them to spend a fortune to counter a relatively cheap threat.
Second, the Baba Yaga represents a profound technological leap and a crucial lesson for military powers everywhere. For years, Western militaries focused on complex, highly integrated, and expensive systems.
Ukraine has proven that a small, agile, and innovative defense industry can outperform a large, bureaucratic one. We are seeing a new kind of arms race, one not defined by who can build the most advanced fighter jet, but by who can build the most effective, affordable, and mass-producible drone. The Russians, for all their supposed might, have been unable to replicate this success. Their attempts to field their own heavy-lift drones have largely failed, and we have numerous reports of them trying to repair and reuse captured Ukrainian Baba Yagas. This is the ultimate proof of concept. When your enemy is forced to rely on your technology, you know you have won the innovation war. Ukraine has demonstrated that necessity is the mother of invention, and it has set the standard for a new generation of unmanned warfare. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, this drone has had a profound impact on the psychological and strategic balance of the war. The Baba Yaga has turned the night from a period of rest into a period of extreme vulnerability for the Russians. It has made their rear areas, their supply lines, and their command posts feel exposed. The constant threat of a silent, invisible killer dropping a heavy payload from above erodes morale and forces the enemy to dedicate significant resources to defense. The fear is palpable. There are countless stories from Russian soldiers of the sheer dread the drone inspires, with some even resorting to fantastical myths to explain its power. This isn't just a military tool, it is a psychological weapon that is breaking the will of the Russian soldier. It's a testament to the fact that in modern warfare, the most effective weapon is often not the most expensive, but the one that the enemy cannot see, cannot stop, and cannot replicate. The Baba Yaga is a symbol of this new era. It's a testament to Ukrainian ingenuity, a brilliant example of asymmetric warfare, and a powerful lesson for militaries around the globe on how to fight and win against a larger, more conventional foe.